Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. When Caitlin Clark went down with her quad injury, there were three different camps, three different types of opinions on when she was going to make her return to the court. We had the optimism crowd. She's going to be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Therefore, she's going to be back in 2 weeks. We had the pessimistic crowd. 6 weeks potentially up until the All-Star break. And then we had the crowd right in the middle, somewhere in the realm of reality. 3 to 4 weeks. Let's not rush her back. Let's make sure she takes the time that she needs to get 120% healthy. And we finally have some more answers as to when Caitlin Clark is going to make her return. Scott Agnes for the Indiana Fever clarifies that she will not be playing tomorrow, today, depending on when you see this video. Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham remain out and won't play Tuesday in Atlanta. I think that is a smart decision. Aari McDonald has been doing a great job steadying the ship, holding the fort down, getting the Indiana Fever back to a 500 ball club. There is no need to panic, no need to rush things and jeopardize not only Caitlin Clark further injuring her quad, but Sophie Cunningham re-aggravating her ankle injury as well. Let's hear what head coach Stephanie White had to say. Stephanie White back in the building, back at the helm of the Indiana Fever. Stephanie White, what do you got to say about Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham?
How about Caitlin? Is she going to be ready for tomorrow?
Oh, not for tomorrow, no. I think for us, it's we've got to work both her and Sophie back into, are they in basketball condition? What does it mean to go live? It's one thing to do some shooting drills. It's another thing to get out there on the floor, get back into to movement patterns, rhythm, timing. And so that's what part of, picking and choosing the things that they can be in practice so that we can see their progression. And both of them being out for long periods of time, you got to work your way back into being game ready.
I know Caitlin was supposed to be reevaluated this weekend. Was she cleared to return to basketball activities?
I don't know if cleared is the right word.
Okay.
I mean, we're ready to start ramping back up and make sure, it's completely different when you're just doing one-on-one workouts and when you're out there in 5-on-5, getting up and down the floor, moving laterally. So she's been allowed to do some practicing, not everything. And we're gonna be smart and we're gonna be cautious and we're gonna play the long game and work her back in very intentionally.
And Sophie too, she was limited on Friday, and what has she been able to progress and do?
Yeah, she was a little limited today. Again, it's seeing how they do in certain drills and certain actions. Getting them back into game condition. Again, this is an injury that she's aggravated a few times now this season, so making sure we're playing the long game and doing it the right way.
We're going to be smart. We're going to be cautious. We're going to be playing the long game when it comes to Caitlin Clark's injury. I agree. Let's not rush her back. No need to rush her back. If we were sitting here at 2-6, I would understand more the need to sound the alarm and say, hey, if we want to save this season, if we want to kind of right some of these wrongs that we saw early in the season, maybe Caitlin Clark, but especially now that we're sitting at 500, now that we have a point guard who, if they take more than 3 to 4 dribbles, isn't going to turn the ball over. We finally have a point guard outside of Caitlin Clark in terms of backups Aari McDonald, she drives into the paint, she gets into the paint, she causes the defense to collapse, and she makes good decisions with the basketball, whether it's swinging it out to an open shooter or dropping it off to Natasha Howard. On the defensive end, Aari McDonald hounds you on the ball defensively. Ball denial, fights through screens, draws a lot of offensive fouls. Aari McDonald on both sides of the basketball has been a shining light for this Indiana Fever ball club. And then on the Sophie Cunningham side, she's re-aggravated this ankle a few times, from what Stephanie White's saying, a few times from the preseason into the regular season, and now most recently. If we're going to get into the championship, we need Caitlin, Sophie, fully on board, fully 110% healthy, and most importantly, we need Aari McDonald on this roster. Kelly Krauskopf, Amber Cox, Stephanie White. Without Aari McDonald on this roster, without a competent backup point guard that can push the ball, without turning it over, that can get into the paint without turning it over, it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to continue to be an uphill battle for this team. Find out a way, release whoever you need to release that's not named Michaela Timpson and not named Sydney Colston. Release whoever you need to release to make sure we have space for Aari McDonald to be on this team. 3-point guards is better than 2-point guards, especially when we see how willing Sydney Colston is to sacrifice her body on the defensive end, especially when we see Sophie Cunningham willing to sacrifice her body on the defensive end. We need another guard spot. We need another guard spot. Athlon came out with an article, Fever make final decision on Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark before the Dream game. The Indiana Fever came into Tuesday's contest against the Atlanta Dream at 4-4 on the young season, having split their last 4 games. 2-game win streak. The Fever snapped a 3-game skid on June 3rd against the Washington Mystics before a commanding 79-52 victory over the Chicago Sky on Saturday, powered by Kelsey Mitchell's 17 points, powered by Aari McDonald's 12 points, powered by Aari McDonald, what was it, 5 steals, if memory serves me correctly? A few of them steal and scores. Aari McDonald raining down threes. Indiana Fever shooting 27 threes, 28 threes against the Mystics, 27 threes against the Chicago Sky. Back-to-back games with Aari McDonald, the most 3-point attempts this team has taken all season, including the Caitlin Clark games. Just a nice little tidbit of information for you. Yet, Indiana's inconsistency has coincided with key injuries to 2 of its most pivotal guards, Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. On Monday, it was revealed that neither Clark nor Cunningham would suit up for Tuesday's road to Atlanta, pushing their earliest possible return to Saturday's matchup with the defending champion New York Liberty. Let's stop right there. I'm sitting them for the New York Liberty game. Both of them, potentially. Caitlin Clark, for sure. No need to rush her back. No need to bring her back against the New York Liberty that she's going to be seeing Natasha Cloud 94 feet. She's going to be seeing Kennedy Burke 94 feet. She's going to be seeing Phoebus 94 feet. No need to bring her back in that scenario. You're asking for a re-aggravation if you want my honest opinion on the case. Bring her back June 17th against the woeful Connecticut Sun. Let's get our lick back. Let's get our win back. They don't really have guards that can guard CC. Marina Mabry will do her best, but Marina Mabry on the defensive end compared to Natasha Cloud on the defensive end, stop it. Marina Mabry on the defensive end compared to Kennedy Burke on the defensive end, stop it. Mabry, stop it. Bring her back against the Connecticut Sun. Let's see her and Aari McDonald. Stephanie, make it work. Kelly, make it work. Amber, make it work. Fans are all in agreement. It's hard to get an entire fan base to agree on one thing, but everybody agrees that Aari McDonald is a necessity for this Fever team. Sydney Colston's cool, but come on. We see what Aari McDonald does when she gets on the court. We see how she responds. We see how the team around her responds. Sydney Colston and Kelsey Mitchell, Aari McDonald and Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell's a better player when Aari McDonald's next to her than when Sydney Colston's next to her. Sydney Colston, Lexi Hall, Aari McDonald, Lexi Hall. Lexi Hall is a better player with Aari McDonald next to her opposed to with Sydney Colston next to her. These are just the facts of the matter. It is what it is. Clark suffered a left quad strain on May 24th in the Fever's narrow 88-90 loss to the New York Liberty, a game that we were up late and we should have won. To shore up the roster, Indiana signed former all-rookie guard Aari McDonald, who in her 2 contests had been averaging 9.5 points, 3.5 assists, 3 steals across 26 minutes per game. Looking ahead, Indiana faces a tough back-to-back slate against the 5-3 Dream, and then Saturday against the unbeaten Liberty. Bring them back against the Connecticut Sun. Let's get that win back. Let's get team chemistry high, team morale high, moving into the middle of the season, making a run for one of those top 3 spots in the standings. I want to go into the playoffs with people having to come to Indiana. I don't want to go to Seattle. I don't want to do it. I don't want to go to Phoenix. I don't want to do it. Come to Indiana. Come to Gainesbridge. 17,000 wearing red, waving towels. It is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. When would you bring Caitlin Clark back? When would you bring Sophie Cunningham back? And who would you cut in order to keep Aari McDonald? I have a feeling I'm going to see a lot of a certain name that has the first initial similar to mine. We'll see you next time, and as always, take it easy.